Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel Healing House, and welcome to Walk In Angel Ariel's weekly wisdom for this upcoming week of August 27th through September 3rd, 2023. My gosh, it's already September. My name is Claire Candy Hoff, and my name is also Angel Ariel, as I had an angelic walk-in experience on January 11th of 2003, which I write about in my award-winning #1 Amazon International bestseller, I Am an Angelic Walk-in, the autobiography of Angel Ariel. I'd like to welcome back my loyal subscribers, my followers. It's lovely to be in your energies once more. And a big thank you to those who are liking and sharing and subscribing. It does help my YouTube channel to grow. And for those who are new for the very first time and have found the Claire Candy Huff YouTube channel, let me share a little bit about myself. Through my full-time business, Angel Healing House, which I created 20 years ago in 2003. I am a Reiki master teacher, having taught hundreds and hundreds of Reiki practitioners and master teachers around the world. I'm also an intuitive counselor, psychic, clairvoyant tarot card reader, and I do past life clearings, ancestral healings, and also I offer those wonderful restorative, re-energizing, recharging Reiki healing energy sessions, and that can be done through distant healing anywhere in the world and online with intuitive counseling as well. If you'd like to book any of my services, if you're interested in finding out more information, please do visit my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, or you can phone 831-277-3716, and that's Eastern Standard Time, as we're on the East Coast in the United States. And for those who would like to donate to my YouTube channel, I've left my PayPal link in the description box down below. Now here on Walk In Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom, we do pull runes, we pull oracle cards, we pull tarot cards to get additional messages from my angelic family, who I am part of. We are called the Posse of Angels. But as always, we first look into the astrological heavens to see what planetary, celestial energies will be affecting all of us. Now, a few days ago, we had many people's favorite astrological occurrence with Mercury going retrograde. Bit of a snide comment there. And while it may seem like this is a weekly event to many, it only happens 3 or 4 times a year, and it usually happens around the change of the seasons. You know, with Mercury ruling things like travel, shipping, communications, and technology of all kinds, some say that there are a greater possibility of things like flight delays, problems with our itineraries if we're traveling, technology not working, and text, phone calls, and emails going astray into cyberspace. But what makes this Mercury retrograde very intense is that there are many planets which are also retrograde, and these are including Saturn, Neptune, Venus, and Pluto. Now, a few days ago, after Mercury goes retrograde, and it did go retrograde on the 23rd, a few days after, Uranus will be joining in the fun, going retrograde, and that's on August 28th. And if that's not enough, Jupiter, the planet of good luck and expansion and good fortune, good old Jupiter, she hops on board and goes retrograde on September 4th. You know, the only planet that will be in full motion is fiery, determined Mars. But with everything else being slowed down or else halted in our lives, it could be increasing our determination to slow down. With so many planets in retrograde, it is actually drawing us within to be passive, in a passive state, and just allow ourselves to be. Now, this is very difficult for many, as many of us have been programmed to accomplish, to achieve more and more and focus on manifesting, doing, and going. Like a clock's spring that has been wound too tightly, many of us experience frayed nerves as we try to figure life out, as we try to push and force life and to get to the next thing. The trick is to balance our lives and accept that non-action, the action of no action, is also a choice. Remember that life in the higher dimensions, the fifth dimension and higher frequencies, is one of ease and grace, and certainly not figuring out life, nor pushing or forcing. Now, listening to our inner voice, not the voice of our ego, it may be difficult for many, as we have been trained to get our identity by doing and accomplishing. For many, it does not feel right when we appear to be doing nothing. But this slowing down allows us a time of reflection, to open to receive the small whisperings of spirit, so that we can recharge and re-energize ourselves, so that when Mercury does go forward in 3 weeks' time, we will be refreshed to tackle the new things that Mercury retrograde always brings in and manifests for us. Now, I have mentioned this many times before, especially on my Angel Healing House blog talk radio show, which, by the way, airs every week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can call in for free mini angel readings then, and that's on Blog Talk Radio. But I've mentioned that every time we have a Mercury retrograde, whether that's 3 or 4 times a year, it heralds that rest period before our world moves forward and prevents us with opportunities and connections to set our feet on a new path. Now, this time of slowdown and going within is allowing us to connect with our greatest wisdom, and that's our connection to God Source Creator, to Spirit, to peacefully navigate through these times. Sure, each of us has free will, and we can choose to rail against our outside world coming to a halt. But our greatest energy now is the receptive, receiving, divine feminine energies. And when we show the universe that we are open to receive, it can co-conspire and co-create to give us in unimpeded and infinite ways to answer the fulfillment of our prayers and desires. One of the greatest things we can do now when all these planets are retrograde is to open ourselves up to create. Sure, some of those things may have slowed down in your lives, some things like work or business, things career-wise, but we can always go to our go-to, which, because we're pure potential, is to create during this time. Now, on that same day of August 23rd, when Mercury stationed retrograde, we had another big energy occur, which was the Sun entering the sun sign of Virgo. Happy birthday to all your Virgos out there. Every time the Sun enters a new sign, even if it's not our Sun, our rising, our moon sign, any of those, we all get to experience the characteristics of that new sign. Now, for instance, the energy of the previous Leo season helped us to roar like a lion and find the courage and the bravery to shine and show the world who we are. Now, as we enter Virgo season, the energy changes, as Virgos are known for being very practical, very logical, and very sensible. Along with being hardworking, reliable, patient, and kind, their pursuit of perfection can make them sometimes single-minded in their pursuit for improvement, which can often lead them to being critical and worrying and sometimes set in their ways. The big take from being a Virgo is that they are working always they are working to be of service to others, and they find incredible practical ways to turn their talents and their gifts into something extraordinary. Now, my angelic family, the posse of angels, is saying that so many in the collective are reinventing themselves and finding practical ways to showcase their wonderful abilities. And with August coming to an end, we have yet another planet, Uranus, going retrograde on August the 29th. And while Mercury retrograde seems to be a little bit more popular or unpopular as it gets a lot of attention, when the planet of innovation and revolution goes retrograde, it's a very powerful planetary happening. When Uranus goes retrograde, it helps to bring us things like clarity, to step on the proper path for our soul's highest good. Remember, not for our ego's highest good, but for our soul's highest good. And while it has wonderful benefits, it's not without its challenges, as one would surmise, with it being the planet of revolution. This is a time for many to radically break free from boundaries that have been holding them back. And with the Uranus retrograde being in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, many will be feeling the changes most related to those Venusian characteristics of money, relationships, and love. If there's one thing that all of these retrograde planetary energies will give to us, it's a time to re-evaluate our circumstances so that we can revise what is working or what is not working and could use some tweaking for improvement. The posse of angels is sharing that the best way to not be bowled over by the power of Uranus's unpredictability is to face changes and new situations by being flexible and by going with the flow. For in this way, we will be able to explore new possibilities and will be open to them and open to receive them. They are reminding us that the driving force behind every revolution, whether that be a personal revolution or one as a collective, is the free will decisions that we choose to make. For many, this will be a transformative period to break free from our normal routines and embrace the unknown. The posse of angels is sharing that it's only by releasing a familiar shore that we can venture out and discover new lands and new things about ourselves, our lives, and keep our lives fresh and open to receive magical encounters with magical people. And just as we are about to close the doors on August in a few days, we have a bit of that magic bringing this month to a close, because on August 30th, we will experience a blue supermoon, which is the rather rare occurrence of having not one, but two full moons in a single month. And the last one, that when this occurred, was in 2009. And while every full moon is filled with powerful, potent energy that signifies releasing blockages that may be hampering the achievement of our goals and desires, intentions, and wishes, this one brings with it an extra bit of luck. Hence the saying, something that only happens once in a blue moon. The uniqueness of this energy is all about second chances, divine knowledge given to us at just the right time by just the right person, things like creativity, fertility, and abundance that is all directed by spirit communication. And as we enter the last week of August, there is no doubt that the energies are nudging us to contemplate lucky, perhaps unexpected, fresh opportunities that just manifest magically in our lives. And when I went to my runes and put my hand into the bag, closed my eyes, just picked intuitively, I was amazed that for the second week in a row, the rune of Awats came out. This is the second week that this came out, the rune of movement and progress. And with Mercury retrograde having stationed stationed retrograde on August the 23rd, and with almost all those other planets going retrograde, it's strange that the rune of movement is consistently coming out. But the posse of angels, my angelic family, who do have a little bit of a higher insight, they're saying that this makes perfect sense to them, as this is the rune of transit, transition of physical shifts, new dwelling places, new attitudes, and new lives appearing. This signifies movement in the sense of improving or bettering a situation of ours. And we do this by reviewing our pasts in order to move forward. They're adding that during a Mercury retrograde, people from our past return. They could even be from past incarnations, returning to our lives, which could indicate the coming together of a new partnership, the growth of a business, or the development of a successful project or idea. Now, be especially observant and look out for the, and this is their words, not mine, the resurrection of people and projects coming back, bringing in very pertinent information. You know, with the rune of movement showing up 2 weeks in a row, I decided to reach into the rune bag to get a little bit more clarity around this movement and transit rune, Awats, and I just had to giggle when this rune came out. It's Wunjo. It's the rune of joy. And this movement that's coming into our lives will bring closure to a time of dis-ease, a time of difficulty as we shift into a joyful time of receiving our blessings, whether these are materially, monetarily, emotionally, or just a heightened sense of well-being for ourselves. This joyful energy is like a burst of sunshine, shining its light on a new energy that has been blocked before. This newness may have us renouncing existing plans and see our lives take a 180-degree turn to what we may have expected. But this will have come in for your soul's greatest good and the highest way to serve, as Wunjo is the rune of restoration. So there's clarity on that Awats, that rune of movement. And recently, my husband Pete and I, we moved from California to Florida, and we love it here. We're getting settled in. We've been here now almost a month. But when you unpack, you seem to find things that got squirreled away and you haven't seen in a while. And one of those things that came out that I was absolutely so elated to find was this, the Chronicles of Destiny fortune cards. If you've not seen these, they are just so magical. They open like a book. And there they are. And the cards and the book to go with it. Once again, I don't even know if they're available anymore, but they're called the Chronicles of Destiny fortune cards. Now, when I picked up this deck, and the first movement I touched the cards, they had been like they were lit by an unseen force, and this card just leapt from the card deck, and it's number 54, and it's the card of mastery. So, this is a card that speaks of a time when we return home from if you would say, the hero's journey, from having graduated from a long journey in which we've learned so much, especially about ourselves. And we are now readying ourselves to take up the mantle, to apply, to share our talents, and help others, with some perhaps teaching their wisdom and their knowledge that their journey helped them to remember. So I love that this card came out, especially in regard to the rune of movement, the rune of transit, and Wunjo, because we have come home to ourselves. So do take this time when many of these planets are retrograde by going within and giving yourself credit for all that you've been through, all that you've mastered, and really revise and re-edit your life, because the new will be on the horizon and you want to be ready. You want to be ready with that acquired integrated knowledge to be able to then go out and pass the mantle along and share it with others. And the additional messages that I decided to go to find out how we can or how this new mastery of ours is going to be coming in our lives. I went to the Wisdom of the Oracle cards, lovely cards, and the first way that it confirms how this mastery is now going to serve us, the first card that came in is the Peace card, is number 23. And 23 is 2 plus 3 is 5, is the number of change. Some would say it's the number of challenges, but these are certainly those changes in our life that are going to be bringing in peace for us. This peace for many is going to be experienced as a deep freedom from attachment and a radical acceptance of ourselves and to what appears in our reality. This is because we know that we've co-created with Spirit for our highest good and the greatest good of all concerned. Knowing that the world is exactly as it divinely should be, we allow ourselves to live a harmonious life. No more pushing again or forcing an agenda, and we enter into a time where we surrender our expectations of anything happening other than what shows up for us. And I love that there is a dove, a white dove, in the middle of that. If we allow ourselves to go with the flow, we will have a clear vision about our work and how we create prosperity in our lives. This creates a magical energy around us because we open ourselves to infinite potential and possibilities, because we have found that stillness and that peace within. Beautiful. The second card that came out to confirm what we will experience by integrating this mastery inside of us, this mastery card inside of us, is the next card, which is the Milk and Honey. And it's 51, which is a 6, the card of balance and harmony, returning after the 5. We progress from the 5 to the 6. And that's a beautiful progression. It's this mastery over ourselves is giving us the taste of prosperity. It's giving us the taste of sweetness born out of authentically nurturing this abundance inside of ourselves and trust that all our needs will always be met. This has come as a result of not pushing, living a life of ease and grace, reflective of living in the energies of the 5th dimension and higher. You know, when one experiences milk and honey, one steps into a version of themselves, the self who knows that they are an emissary of God's source creator. And our soul naturally illuminates our soul's purpose, and then we easily and gracefully draw to ourselves the connections, the opportunities and offers for us to serve. Now, the Posse of Angels is saying that with every conscious choice that we make, we are creating the good fortune and our destiny to live our sweetest life ever. And there is our Milk and Honey card. It's so sweet. To complete our new path of this wonderful coming home to ourselves, this self-mastery, we receive the 22 number. 22 is the number of the master builder, and it is the card blessed. Something wonderful that is an unforeseen gift from Spirit, having gone on that hero's journey and come back wiser and stronger and having reconnected to the wisdom, because any journey we go on is not for anything external. It's always to find our way home to ourselves. The posse of angels is saying that many in the collective are truly now open to receive through the wonderful assistance and intervention from the divine. So within, so without, as above, so below. It's like the Red Sea parts and events happen effortlessly to create avenues for wish fulfillment and for our lives to flow smoothly. With self-mastery as our greatest tool now, allow yourself to remain in awe, in wonderment, and gratitude, to guide you as your energies of enchantment help for your blessings to flow in freely now. And there we have the card blessed. So that's a wonderful, wonderful messages. Peace, milk and honey, and blessed. And that's all a result of having come home to ourselves through self-mastery. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Let's go to those tarot cards which fell on the floor. Excuse me. Let me pick them all up. Did I lose any? Yes, I did. Here we go. Sorry. Okay. Let me give them a good shuffle, although when they fell on the floor, they had a very good shuffle. So, I hope everybody's well. Boop, 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 and enjoying themselves. I know a lot of things start to rev up again at the end of August. A lot of schools, universities, kids go back to school. September, when September rolls around, I have this burning desire inside of me to sharpen pencils and buy a brand new lunchbox and shine up my patent leather shoes and go to school. All of those, and in my day, cover our books, with the brown paper bags. But that's going back to my dinosaur days. I don't know if they do that anymore, as many things are just on the computer. But yeah, and writing your name on the brown paper bag on the inside. Okay, so yeah, lots of things. Many do believe that September really is the start. I mean, I know that the zodiacal signs start with Aries in the spring, but there are many that see the new year as happening and at this harvest time, as September going into October. Okay, let's go to those cards, cut them in threes, and see what comes out for all of us. Okay. First card coming out, well, talk about self-mastery. This is the Four of Wands. There are a few celebration cards in a tarot deck, and this is the one that celebrates success after hard work. It's also the marriage card, and I love the fact that on my cards, on my deck, yes, this is my Angel Healing House tarot deck, I've designed the doves above there because there's like a canopy under the Holy Spirit, under the angels, that you've co-created with this canopy of spirit to create this success or this union in your life. Now, yes, it could be romantic, or it could be the coming together of a business partnership, or it could be the coming together of yourself with yourself in order to experience that self-mastery. The Four of Wands certainly is a card of home, coming home to ourselves. Many people, often in tarot readings, when they ask questions about whether they will buy or sell a home, and this card comes out, it's very good confirmation that that will happen. But in many regards, this is like coming home to ourselves under the umbrella of that Holy Spirit, of Spirit in our lives. And we know that we're co-creating and concocting our lives with Spirit in every single second, and we are conscious of that. Certainly, for many people, as they go into this harvest season, with the number 4 coming out, 4 is the number of stability, security, a stronger foundation, and it makes us feel like we are standing on stable ground. You know, we're not as shaky as we were in some of those previous months like May, June, July. Okay, so this would be our general situation. What Spirit is asking us to focus on is this card, is the new path that will be presented to us. And yet again, we have the repeating Holy Spirit there. And they're saying that the Fool card is one of following our awe, our wonderment, our enchantment about stepping onto this new path and knowing very deeply that we are never alone. We are co-creating this with Spirit, and being open like with the eyes of a child, to see life as a treasure map and to follow those signs. You know, somebody asked me today, why did you move to Florida? And I said, because the angels told us to move to Florida. I said, simply, that is it, simply in a nutshell. And when Pete and I have received the divine voice from God, Source Creator, and the angels to make a move, we have made a move. And we know that by following that, we will meet the right people at the right time and the right opportunities, and everything else is like laying out a feast before us. They're pointing out, the posse of angels are pointing out that 0 and saying that many of us will feel like we're back at square one. With the tarot starts with 0, it doesn't start with 1. When I teach tarot, I make that very clear to my students. But being back at square one is not a bad thing, because we have all of the knowledge and the wisdom from the journey that we just went on to master ourselves, and now we get to step on a new path with all of that wisdom and all of that knowledge. So that's what we need to focus on. During the Mercury retrograde, during the retrograde of these planets, revise, declutter your, and if you want to move, if I was going to say, if you want to really declutter, move, because you either have to put it in a box, get rid of it, give it to Goodwill, or pass it and gift it to family and friends, or put it in a box. It suddenly, separates the wheat from the chaff, but prepare yourself. And this way you're showing the universe that you're ready for the new to come in. So I love it. I love it that those doves appeared in both of those cards. Next card is the card of the unexpected, or, the unexpected. Well, there you go. There are some more white birds. White is the number of new beginnings. And the peacocks are a sign, in many cultures, of living not so much a royal life, but feeling this wealth of abundance. Being able, there's another 4, stability, security, a strong foundation, and being able to rest in the arms of the white birds of new beginnings and peace, that you've done a wonderful job in holding the vibrational frequency for the planet, as you will continue to do so. And you can take a step back from trying to push and force anything and trying to figure life out, and allow Spirit to bring you the signs and messages on how to intuitively be inspired to move forward. I love all these white birds that are turning up, and the fact that we got 2 4s, which really show us, really. The Four of Swords is also a card of healing, by the way. You know, feeling like we can take a deep breath in, like we don't feel so full of, well, many don't feel this anxiety or angst anymore, that we can surrender, release, and really let go to co-create with Spirit. And I've said this to my clients for 20 years. Spirit knows you better than you know yourself. And they work in the realm of magic, miracles, synchronicity, and serendipitous events, infinite possibility. So why would we try to force our limited expectations and agendas and attachments when they know us better than we know ourselves? The 4th card is advice from Spirit, and this one is the Ace of Cups. How wonderful is that? This is the fulfillment of your wishes, your cup overflowing. The number 1 is about new beginnings. Oh, and there is another dove. Look, there. Okay, doves. Well, there's white peacocks, and then we have white doves. Another white dove there. This is the intervention, the divine intervention, the once in a blue moon that is coming up on August 30th with that rare blue supermoon. And after we have, many of us have felt like, we have grown through the mud, through the difficulties, through the traumas, through the things that we have endured, and now the lotus flower starts to blossom. The fish are the sign of the abundance that are coming in, and of course, it's all under the umbrella of the Holy Spirit, of that beautiful dove. So, what is the outcome of all of this? It's the Justice card. It's balance returning to your life. Now, once again, materially, monetarily, emotionally, just this feeling of coming home to ourselves, and this balance and this truth, finding this once again. They're saying, with Uranus being the planet of revolution, there will be things which will be revealed, but they are not going to stop this beautiful light from continuing to lift the planet to the higher dimensional frequencies and dispel the darkness. And I just noticed that there are the 2 swans there, which are white birds. In every one of these cards, there are white birds. They just happen to be white birds. So again, white is the number of purity. White is the number of new beginnings, peace, and the swans are actually one of those birds that they glide silently across the water, but their little feet are paddling very, very quickly. But they are silent. And keep to your own counsel, especially go within during this Mercury retrograde. Find the gifts and blessings in that time that you're given to reflect, so that when you come out, you can be that example of that mastery to pass the mantle on to others. Now, they're saying to look under the deck, and here we have the 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups is about partnerships. Could be romantic, it could be business partnerships, but they're saying more of partnering with the divine. And look, there's a seagull there who happens to be white. Something about these white birds. Yeah, they're saying the 2 of Cups is there on the bottom of the deck for us to really partner with the divine as we go forward. You can't miss when you partner with God, Source Creator, and the angels. So To end with, we have our fortune cookie cards. As you know, I love these cards. And we're saying, come on, posse of angels. Make them jump, 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 jump. Few cards. Oops, that one had a skippy. That one was skipping out. Guard yourself against any deception and be careful of making mistakes at this time. Well, I don't think there are any mistakes, but as everything is destined to happen in our life, but there is more care during a Mercury retrograde because with the planets backward movement, we may not be so present. We may be reviewing the past, and maybe things could happen, where you could bump your toe or drop something or that kind of thing. So maybe take some more care during this Mercury retrograde to make sure that you are present. Okay, let's see what else comes out. Whoop. Sunshine. The sun is shining on you. Career and business growth, fabulous communications in relationships. So I love that card. That is a beauty. And one more. Whoop. That one's on the floor. Okay. What is that one? And we're ending with opportunities. A stranger is about to change your life. Exciting times and plenty of action, plus a special family reunion looks likely. So we've got time to take more care, sunshine, and opportunities. So I hope all that's been helpful for you. Do go out, everyone, and fashion a beautiful life for yourself. Remember that Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio airs every week on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, now that we've moved time zones. And you can call in for a free mini angel reading at that time. If you're not able to listen live, all of the 12 and a half years of Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio, they're all archived on the Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio site, and they can be listened to at any day, at any time. So, as I said, go out and fashion a beautiful life for yourself. I'm wishing you love. And as always, angel blessings. I look so forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.